If you guys do need any grinding services done, hit up my boy Cliff2_3 on Twitter. If you guys are wanting that new Galaxy Opal or any of the Spotlight Sim rewards, or even if you do want him to grind Ray Allen, hit my boy up. Xbox or PlayStation, fast and reliable. It is good, yo. It's your boy Ty back here with another video. And in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and ranking the best small forwards right now in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. If you did miss out on the shooting guard list, make sure to go back and watch that before this. Just to kind of get a better feel for that position and a guy like Scottie Pippen and, DeAndre Hunter, where they are at on that shooting guard list as well. Now, here's the deal. Small forward position, way weaker than the shooting guard position. It's not even close. This position is really, really, really weak in general in my team, but we can still make the most out of it, and that's what we're going to do. Starting it off here with Franz Wagner. And if you are if you know me, okay, and you know my channel, you know that I absolutely love Franz Wagner. And I mean, I know I'm not the only one that loves Franz Wagner. A lot of people love Franz Wagner, and can you blame anybody? The dude is elite. Hot spots from 4 to 5 places around the three-point line, good three ball, good release, MJ dribble style, normal leaner. The dude does a lot for you. Just coming to a point where there are other small forwards that can do more than Franz can in my team. Harrison Barnes up next. I've said it and I'll say it again. This card is one of the more overrated players to ever exist in my team. And I hold true to that. I get his release is good, MJ dribble style, but compare him to an evoed up Franz Wagner for me. Just do it, okay? Because I know a lot of people would take Harrison Barnes. I personally would probably lean Franz Wagner. Very similar cards. Give me Franz over HB, though, for my liking. Jason Tatum up next. And the question of the day today is Jason Tatum an S tier small forward in my team? Well, let me go through and look. And after a brief looking, yes, he is S tier. Now, do I love Jason Tatum? Well, I mean, his release is on quick, but he's just not great, okay? And I need you guys to know that and be aware of it. Jason Tatum's good in my team. Really good. A top 5 small forward. But outside of that, I don't think I could put him any, in that top 2 or top 3 category. But still really solid. And if you want to use JT, do what you guys have got to do. Andrew Wiggins at that small forward position is an A tier caliber player. Now, do I like him more at small forward or shooting guard? Either way, it doesn't matter. Wherever he fits in your team, he's 6'7" and has decent defense, so he can play small forward. I don't necessarily love his release. It's okay, but I don't love it. I just think he is that A tier for both the shooting guard and his small forward position. Tubby Walker up next. And I want to talk about Tubby Walker for a while, because if you did choose this card, he's really, really, really solid in my team. Mediocre defense, Hall of Fame limitless, Bismack on quick, solid release, MJ dribble style, normal leaner. Now, nobody's really going to talk about Tubby Walker because most people probably aren't going to pick Tubby. I mean, that's really the basis of it. Nobody's going to, talk about him because nobody's going to pick him. He still, to me, is a B tier caliber small forward in my team. Bailey Howell up next. I think he's B tier as well. Now, Bailey Howell is maybe going to defend better than Tubby Walker. Tubby Walker is going to have more total and more offense. Again, they're complete opposites. Tubby's more that offensive player, whereas Bailey Howell is going to be one of the best defensive small forwards in the game. A card that, with that DeRozan type base, you can compete with and have fun with. I haven't really had personally that much success with Bailey Howell. That's why he is only B tier for me. Carmelo Anthony up next. And Melo is an interesting one because where does he rank? Well, I think he's right in that B tier, right? I mean, I get it offensively, he's a cheese ball, but defensively, he still is pretty bad. And when we do get another Melo, probably sometime later this month, maybe in March, he's going to be probably that A tier again because his release is really good. It just comes down to right now, I think there are better small forwards, more complete small forwards in the game than Melo. Cincy Powell, I guess I'm going to put it B tier again. I think all the Cincy and Bailey Howell are very similar in which they're complete small forwards. I don't love either of their releases, but both do belong in B tier. DeAndre Hunter. I'll die on this hill. Because of his player model, he's good. I mean, you can sit here and not like him because of his release, and I'm okay with admitting his release is not great. But his player model is so good, he's got to be at least in B tier. Same thing with Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, DFS is different than DeAndre Hunter. Both are really solid players. I don't necessarily like DFS's release that much, but he's very similar to DeAndre Hunter. Both do belong in B tier. Draymond Green, D tier. I'm sorry, if you typed in that locker code and got Draymond Green on, like I did on my No Money Spent, all I can really say is I'm sorry. The card is not great in my team. Now let's fill in some of the lower tiers, okay? Sharif, I'm going to go D tier. I don't love you. Sean Marion, I mean, should be better than you are, but your release is horrible. Al Harrington, as much as you are Chicken Man in my team, just isn't very good. If I do have to drag one person into D tier, I can't drag any of those guys. Is there anybody else here? I don't really think we've got an F tier player. Well, you have to move somebody in there, so just stay tuned, man, because one of these three are, I guess it's Al Harrington. And I like Al Harrington. He's got a good release, but I guess because he's not, complete movement. But my whole thing is Al Harrington really, truly F tier? I don't think so, man. Like, he's not F tier. Absolutely not. No. I don't know. We'll get back there eventually. Tony Kukoc up next. Here's the hard part is I do think he's B tier. He's got a really good release. He's 6'10", can play lanes. Defensively, he's not necessarily super complete, but he is really solid. Going to go at B tier. I don't want to keep putting people at B tier, so we'll branch out a little bit. Bron, easy addition into S tier. Right now, I'm taking LeBron over anybody else outside of one player at the small forward position when it comes down to it, and we'll talk about that when we get there. Bron, a really easy addition into S tier, one of the most complete cards yet today. I hope when we get a new Bron, a Galaxy Opal Bron, they don't change his release. I just hope they put it on quick. If they change Bron's release, I'm going to get mad. Kevin Durant, is he A tier? I don't even think so, man. I think he's another B tier caliber player, and I know a lot of people are going to get mad that everybody's at B tier, but his release is on normal timing. Unless if they really want to juice KD, make him have a faster release. Until then, he's B tier. Caro up next. I mean, what do you want me to do? Who do you want me to move out of B tier? Does anybody have any suggestions? All of these pink diamonds are literally like exactly the same. They are all B tier. Finally, a card that's not B tier. It's Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he is S tier. Do me a favor, guys. Honestly, you don't even got to do it. I'll do you guys the favor for you guys. Here are Giannis's recent games, okay? He dropped 54 points last night against the Clippers. Prior to that, so he had 54 against the Clippers, 34 against the Hornets, 50 against the Pelicans, 41 against the Pacers. I'm not going to say too much, but is Giannis going to be the MVP again? I mean, look, here's my opinion on it, okay? The Bucks are 35-17. Middleton's been injured a lot, and they're still that good. Giannis averaging 33 and 13 and 5. Hey, I know Jokic is good. Jokic might deserve it, but with what Giannis has been doing, don't be surprised if he wins another MVP. Larry Nance, B tier. I can't separate these cards. Some of them are better offensively. Larry Nance is a card that's better defensively, but you can't separate them. Card I am going to separate is I'm going to move Joe Smith into A tier. I know a lot of people like Joe Smith, and look, I would never lock in for Joe Smith because I hate locking away MT. That's my biggest pet peeve. Do not lock your MT away. And with Joe Smith, you're doing that. You're locking in a set. Card is still really good, though, and belongs in A tier. He's 6'10", good release, good player model, really good stat-wise. If you do play him with the Latrell Sprewell, man, that duo is incredible. Robert Covington up next. As much as I want to put Covington at B tier, I can't. I just can't. I mean, there are way more complete cards at B tier than Robert Covington, but C tier is good. I mean, HB, Franz, and Rocco, they're all really solid for being in C tier. Next up, Ben Simmons. I'm going to go D tier just because he can't shoot. Now, with that being said, Ben Simmons does everything else. Now, I know the Galaxy of Ben Simmons is out now, so you guys aren't even going to be thinking about the diamond. But just think about it for a little bit. He's really solid defensively all the way around. Offensively, I mean, as far as attacking the rim with Clamp Breaker, he's kind of a cheese ball. Ben Simmons is low-key, and when I say this, I'm saying low-key. He's low-key tough in my team. Really low-key, he's tough. I kind of do like Ben Simmons as far as just a complete defensive player. Rudy up next. I don't rate Rudy. I'm going to throw him in D tier. I really don't rate him. And somebody asked me the other day, Ty, where is Rudy? Well, newsflash, he's not on it. Like, he's not. I don't like Rudy. I don't rate him highly. He is D tier to me. Jeremy Sohan up next. Now, there's an interesting one. Because where does Jeremy Sohan rank for me. Because the card is not bad. Decent 3-ball, decent speed, really solid defensively, really solid 3-and-D option. Just kind of another Rocco, but his release is on slow. That's the problem, right? If you want to run a Jeremy Sohan, just run Robert Covington. At least his release isn't on slow. Pink Diamond AK-47 up next. Easy addition into A tier. People are going to say he doesn't belong there. Look at his defense. Look at his release. And just look at AK as an all-around card. Easy addition into A tier. Larry Bird up next. He's B tier. Nah, you know what, guys? He's A tier. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, what, Ty? You have Larry Bird at A tier? I do. And here's why. I know his release is not great. It's not the quickest. But just hear me out. He's got every shooting badge in the game. Defensively is super complete. I mean, is the card great? No, but a lot of it has to do with his release. If his release was on quick, he would probably be an S tier. It's that simple. Paul George up next. He's B tier. Yes, Larry Bird's way better than Paul George. Debate a wall on that one. It's that simple. Larry should easily be an S for the, best, hardest grind in the game. But again, A tier is where he belongs. Gerald Wallace up next. And it pains me to do this, but he's in B tier as well. Again, you guys might be wondering, what, Ty? How is Gerald Wallace in the B tier? Well, he just doesn't have that many total badges. Offensively, is not great. B tier is where he belongs. Glenn Robinson up next. Now, I remember a time a couple of years ago, when collector level used to be okay, used to be solid. Glenn Robinson is horrible. He is absolute. Now, you know what? I'm doing it. Glenn Robinson might be the worst card I've ranked so far. And I know that's going to get a lot of slander, but he really, truly might be. This card is a garbage man in my team. I'm throwing him into F tier. Maybe you can call me biased. I really don't care. Jerome Williams up next. Look, if you can green with this card, he's probably in C tier, but his 3-ball is just a little too low for my liking, putting him in D tier. Jonathan Isaac up next. He's B tier. He's 6'11". A pure lock at 6'11", belongs in B tier. I don't care what else you want to say about him. He belongs right there. Juwan Howard up next. I think C tier is where I want to go with Juwan Howard, but at the same time, the card is really good overall. It's just he has a 76 3-ball. He's got the magic base and basic dribble style, so C tier is where he belongs. He is better than Glenn Robinson, though. Galaxy Opal Kawhi up next. He's A tier. If you want to make the case, and I like Kawhi. If you want to make the case that Kawhi, you know what? I think he is S tier. Oh, no, he can't be. He can't be S. He can't be S because we got better cards to come. I do like Kawhi Leonard, though. I'm one of the few, I know his block rating's low, but I'm one of those few people that will stick by. I like Kawhi Leonard in my team. Lamar Odom up next. And this one's pretty difficult for me because I think Lamar Odom is solid, but he does lack a lot of key badges, honestly. I'm going to go B tier with big Lamar Odom. Lauri Markkanen at this stage of the game is C tier. He's 7 feet tall. He is a cheese ball, but I don't think his release is the quickest. I don't think it's the smoothest. And honestly, quite frankly, he doesn't do a lot on the court for you outside of being tall. Big Bron, A tier. I mean, I would have him in S tier just because I'm biased, but objectively, Nightmare Bron is still A tier. And here's where things get really tough. Because I want to put OG Anunoby in S tier, but I can't. He's A tier. And again, this is coming from a guy that really wants to put OG in S tier. I just can't. Bron, Tatum, Giannis, I feel like they're all more complete. They're all better than him. OG Anunoby definitely does belong in A tier, though. Problem is, Scottie Pippen at the small forward position right now is the best small forward in the game, okay? And that's something that I want you guys to hear me out on, okay? Scottie Pippen right now is the best small forward in the game. Is he better at shooting guard? Probably. I think his best position is shooting guard. But if you do want to play him as small forward, he's the best small forward in my team. Shane Battier, he's going to be able to shoot the ball, play good defense. But to me, he's going to do it better than like a guy like Robert Covington. So for me, Shane Battier's got to be, and again, he's got to be B tier. I don't love Shane Battier, but he's got to be. Yes, playmaker-wise, not going to be great. I get that. But because of what he's going to do on defense, B tier is where he belongs. Terry Mills up next. Literally opposite of Jerome Williams. They're both D tier. Neither of them are very good. Thurl Bailey up next, B tier. I like Thurl much more than Lauri. Just gives you a more complete option. B tier is where he belongs. Here's where things get tough. Because Tim Thomas is S tier. Zion is S tier. Okay? And we'll plug these other guys in right now as it stands. Tobias Harris. His release is solid, but does he really give you that much else outside of having a good release? I don't think so. I mean, he's got basic dribble style. I don't really see what Tobias is going C tier. Trevor Ariza, I like him a little bit more. Gonna defend a little bit better than a guy like Tobias Harris. Trevor Ariza, I'm gonna put at that B tier. So here's where things get difficult. Okay. If I'm not going to move anybody from S tier because I think all of these guys belong at S tier. But if you know what? Zion doesn't belong at S tier. I'm sorry. You guys can hate me if you want. I'm not nearly as high on Zion as a lot of people are. I think, he should have been better than he was because of his release, stuff like that. He just wasn't it for me. That's my firm opinion on things. This is my small forward list. Yes, we've got a ton of guys in B tier. Glenn Robinson is really the worst card on this list. Yes, it's biased, but I don't care. For a collector level, he should be much better than he is. That's gonna wrap it up for our video. Drop a like on it, subscribe if you are new, and as always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.